Good morning. It is 6 a.m. And that is the sun just sort of poking through. And yeah, I hope we're going to have a beautiful day. I really do. I hope we get to have a beautiful day. Oh, yes. Morning tea. Yeah. Oh, oh well. Well. It's not even 6:30 yet, and I'm just barely pulling together, so bear with me. Bear with me. Thank you. I want to talk about dinosaurs. These little guys here, yeah, these. Only the bigger ones, the real ones. Yeah. I want to talk about dinosaurs. Oh, whoa, man. As a kid, I grew up fascinated by dinosaurs. I think most kids grow up fascinated by dinosaurs. If you are one of those unfortunates who never had such a fascination, you have my condolences. But yeah, dinosaurs are fascinating. Of course, the dinosaurs that we had in our plastic prehistoric play sets, very often included non-dinosaurs like Dimetrodon and Mammoth and Smilodon, creatures who obviously were not dinosaurs but got included because they're big and they're extinct. And when you're 8 years old, dinosaur just means big and extinct. It's not a specific clade. Fast forward a few decades, and now you're talking about a rather more serious approach to the matter. Dinosaurs are a specific clade that does not include Dimetrodon, or Smilodon, or Mammoth. Yeah. Actually, Dimetrodon was closer related to us, being a protomammal, a synapsid. But I digress. Dinosaurs appeared in the Triassic. And the Triassic started about 250 million years ago, and dinosaurs appeared about 10 million years into that, so around 240 million years ago. And the first dinosaurs were quite small. They had feathers, and they were cold adapted. And we know they lived in South America. And I personally suspect that they also lived in Antarctica. These were the two continental land masses closest to the South Pole, and so they were the coldest parts of Pangaea. Yeah. But in any case, small dinosaurs, suitcase-sized dinosaurs, house cat and pet dog-sized dinosaurs, nothing bigger than a Great Dane. And these early dinosaurs lived in a world dominated by land crocs. They were crocodiles or crocodilomorphs, related to modern crocodiles but not directly ancestral, who basically occupied the same niches that dinosaurs would later occupy, having taken over from the Permian proto-mammals who had been reduced to just a handful of scurrying cynodonts hiding in the underbrush. But the land crocs, they did briefly take over. And they were quite aggressive, and they dominated. And unlike modern crocodiles, which are all exclusive carnivores, these land crocs were carnivores, omnivores, and herbivores. Many of them were bipeds. And I suspect that it is from the bipeds that we get the first dinosaurs. Of course, the first dinosaurs were nothing like later dinosaurs from the Jurassic and the Cretaceous. Again, as I said, they were small, and they were all bipeds, and they were all carnivores. They were all hunters, meat eaters. They would eat mammals and lizards and insects and anything that was crunchy and had blood in it. Yeah. They were eaters of things that were animals. They ate other animals, and that means they ate some of our ancestors. So next time you bite into a chicken leg, think of it as revenge. Yeah. Anywho, for the first few million years, these little dinosaurs of the South were kept in check by the land crocs. But then they started to diversify and get a little bigger, with some of them getting to be the size of a Shetland pony. Yeah. They still weren't huge, but they were definitely gaining ground on the land crocs. Except that they were still confined to the south. They were still confined to the south. And the land crocs dominated the north. Well, they dominated the middle latitudes, between the tropics, and effectively kept the dinosaurs penned in. But all three major groups of dinosaurs were already represented. The Ornithischians, which would eventually give us this guy and this guy. The sauropods, which would give us these two in the middle. And the theropods, which would eventually give us Tyrannosaurus rex. And Deinonychus. And ultimately, that modern chicken that I was telling you about earlier there. Yeah. Because yes, modern chickens and all modern birds are theropod dinosaurs. But in the Triassic, they were all very small, they were all carnivores, and they were all bipeds for a while. Gradually, however, some of these Triassic sauropods became herbivores, and some of the Triassic Ornithischians became herbivores, and even some of the Triassic theropods became herbivores, or at the very least omnivores. And then at the end of the Triassic, there was a huge extinction event which devastated the land crocs. And this gave the dinosaurs the opportunity to take over the planet. They were bigger than the synapsids. They were still cold adapted. And the land crocs were not cold adapted. So the land crocs lost out, and the dinosaurs kept the synapsids down. And they kept them down for another 150 million years, right up until the end of the Cretaceous. But we are still talking about the Triassic here. Anywho, that's all for now. I think in the next video we might talk a little bit more about the Triassic and about the shift from the Triassic to the Jurassic. But for right now, I think we're going to leave things off. And yeah, all right. Ta-ta, folks.